everyone, I am Maria Felipe for Coconut TV, and we're still hanging out here at the Course in Miracles conference, and I have the divine honor to interview this angel from God. Her name is Regina Akers. She speaks about A Course in Miracles and speaks her truth and her love all over the world, all the way to Israel. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And she has this amazing organization. It's called Awakening.
Awakening Together.
Awakening Together.
Yes.
Speaking of awakening together, speak to us about how we can awaken together in this world and awaken in love.
Right. It seems to me that the best way to awaken quickly is to give your willingness to see everything that is in your mind that you believe, everything that is in your mind that you give meaning to, everything that is in your mind that you probably did not doubt before, and give willingness to see all of it and to question all of it and to see through it. Because really what keeps us sleeping is the meaning that we give to everything that we see around us. And most people don't really realize it. It's kind of funny how, you know, we talk about this world as an illusion, but actually at the individual level, most of us aren't even down to the illusion yet. We're believing an illusion of an illusion.
That makes sense, yeah.
Because we've applied so many meanings, you know, like whatever I think of you, whoever you are to me, you know, somebody else can have a completely different impression of you. Everything is so made up in our minds, and we don't realize that everything is so made up in our minds. So if we want to awaken, we have to learn to question our thoughts instead of just quickly believing our thoughts. And when we start questioning our thoughts and start realizing that our thoughts aren't as true or aren't as trustworthy as we once thought they were, then we start to begin to see things a little differently.
Yeah, I also, what's coming up for me as you're saying that is questioning is important, and to be aware of who you're questioning with.
Yeah.
If you're questioning with Coco or if you're questioning with Nut, which is really nutty, the ego. So let's speak about those two thought systems, the ego and Holy Spirit, and how it's transformed your life to hear Holy Spirit.
Absolutely. Well, as I've mentioned to you before, that the ego thought system was basically my thought system when I started A Course in Miracles. And what I needed to do is I needed to learn to see that the ego thought system is a thought system of very quick judgment and very quick decision making. Again, it's creating meaning everywhere I look. And I needed to learn that the meaning that it creates is not true, is not actually even sane. And I came to see that the ego thought system is usually based on fear or judgment. And I learned that if I had thoughts in my mind, ideas in my mind that were based on fear and judgment, what I could do is I learned to practice not listening to them.
Practice not listening.
Yeah, it was a little difficult in the beginning because the ego has a way of telling you that it's your wise counselor. It has a way of telling you that it's here to keep you safe. And so therefore, if you choose to not listen to it, something's going to happen, right? So it takes a little bit of practice to learn not to listen to it, because a lot of really strong emotions come up in the beginning. A lot of fear comes up, you know, that something's going to happen. But if you can ride that wave out, what starts to happen is that the ego voice starts to become a lot weaker. And as the ego voice becomes a lot weaker, what you start to notice is what we call the Holy Spirit, but a lot of people also call it that still small voice. You're right, and when the ego was drowning it out, you didn't even notice it. But when you choose not to listen to the ego, and the ego grows weaker, and by the way, it grows weaker because what feeds the ego is your attention. What feeds the ego is you're listening to it, right?
Yeah.
So when you choose not to listen to it, even though it goes through this storm at first, if you just kind of ride out the storm and let it pass, then the ego grows weaker, and then what rises up to replace it, which was, by the way, always there, you just didn't notice it because of the loud ego, is that saner voice, which may not even sound like a voice. It might just be a very, very silent intuition. But you start having a clear knowing of what to do, what to say, where to go. What's different about the Holy Spirit than the ego is that the ego, which was this voice of judgment and fear, it always had these dramatic stories around everything. The ego doesn't have dramatic stories, it just has little prompts. So one thing you have to learn to live with is the mystery. You have to learn to live with not knowing why you're going here or why you're saying this. Oftentimes as it unfolds you begin to see why, but when you're first prompted you don't know why. But if you can learn to be comfortable with the mystery, learn to let go of listening to the ego, the voice of fear and judgment, life then begins to unfold in a very miraculous way, which I'm sure you already know. I'm absolutely certain I'm preaching to the choir here. Right?
Oh, what a blessing. Well, thank you for that. I would hope so, because I'm sitting here doing this interview right now after having surgery 3 weeks ago. So yes, I would think I have hopefully, learned a thing or two with my practice of going to Holy Spirit. But I really loved your sharing, because I feel that people all over the world, are just exhausted. I'm exhausted with the ego conversation.
Yeah.
And I feel that your insight is so clear on just, being willing and asking for, take the next step of asking Holy Spirit its interpretation.
Yes.
Not our individual interpretation.
Right.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
I loved it. It was just so beautiful. I was like, I wasn't looking at you guys because I was mesmerized by her eyes, and I was just like engaged. And because, as you teach, you learn, and I'm just learning so much from everyone here. So thank you for your gift and for shining your light in this world.
Of course.
I appreciate that. We all appreciate that, right, my coconuts? All right, well, let's wrap it up with affirmation for this week. Affirmation for this week. So you can share it with the camera.
All right.
Feel.
The affirmation for the week is going to be, I will not be afraid of my emotions. Because when we're afraid of our emotions, we run right back to listening to ego. So I will not be afraid of my emotions.
There you have it. All right, my divine coconuts. Thank you for joining me this Monday. Thank you, Regina, once again. And I say have a blessed week filled with love and light. Until next time. Bye-bye.